when you are playing for these prizes, when hundreds of dollars are on the line, and a lot of notoriety for coming first in the tournament, you do tend to play a little bit more conservatively than you would normally. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some safer picks coming out. We have seen that VGR.Black play a lot of very, very aggressive and very risky champions, in my opinion. Things such as Akali and Kassadin, champions that can snowball very hard either way. So it'll be interesting to see if we're seeing similar picks coming out from them, or if those picks are going to be target banned, or if they're going to pick something different entirely. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this pick and ban phase, and it'll be absolutely great.
Yeah, and I do believe, I would not be surprised if we see them trying to go for maybe a jungle Nessus pickup. They do seem to love that Nessus, gets them the early dragons, those early barons, and really helps that team snowball like they like to do. Some of the other picks can be really unconventional, so they do need those objectives to get them that gold. And Nessus is the hero they usually use to go for that, so that's another big pick that could be up. You could expect to see Orianna somewhere, we could expect to see Zek. These are some big heroes I've seen used throughout, so there's a lot of big heroes that we see could be coming, but you don't know, these teams could have something hidden away for the finals, and they just want those target bans to come up so they can totally open the whip out their real strategy. Who knows? It's gonna be big. We're getting into the drafting soon. I'm really excited to see what picks are coming up.
And we are indeed into the Champions League screen, and I'm so excited for this. This is the first match of this best of 5, and here goes the ban. First ban coming out is Shen, and I'm pretty sure that could be a respect ban. We've seen that Zeratul can play a lot of those top champions, and there's no doubt in my mind that he can play a very vicious Shen. So, first ban is a respect ban as well as a very standard ban, so pretty strong all around. Zyra is also being banned out. Zyra is a big counter-engage champion. She can put down the Stranglethorns and pretty much punish anyone for jumping on her team. So I'm not
and that's
surprised
that
to
big
see that.
Nessus ban. I'm not surprised to see that go, because that jungle Nessus they have is so powerful and really does give them that really early lead. The Shen ban, I'm not surprised, because it removes the chance of the split push. Maybe they're looking towards going for a bit of a wombo combo, and they want to remove that opportunity, because that's what hurts them in the past, that Shen splitting. He can take the towers, he can sneak inhibs, or they're grouped as a 5 trying to make the big play. So I think they will go for a wombo-oriented lineup, just looking at that ban alone on the Shen. Maybe they just don't want him though, maybe that's not the plan. The Orianna taken out, so these two teams know what each other run, they know the big heroes, and they're removing them. The Orianna, very well played by Noxius, we've seen in the past. The Nessus, very well played by VGR.Black. Real big bans coming out, and it's strong to see.
It is. So Akali has also been banned out, and that is most definitely a target ban for Royal Chocobo. He's played it very aggressively in his set of best of 3, as well as a game in the round robin, and he's proven how effective he can be on that champion in the mid lane. So respect ban for Akali going out. There's also respect ban for Orianna going out. So that was, oh wow, a Zac ban going out as well. So that's a target ban on Dust and a target ban on Ariel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so most definitely both teams have been doing their homework. They've been watching what the other teams have been doing. We're not too surprised with these bans. These are the big focus bans, so that's really strong. But we've seen Noxius are a strong drafting team, and they have more than that one combo that we see. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if there's Zara banned out. So I don't know if VGR are going to be really interested in grabbing that Nami while there is no Zara to go against it. So it'll be interesting, but maybe we'll see something exciting. A Blitzcrank, a Thresh picked up, some of that interesting bot lane action to see an aggressive game. The Elise has been left, and you do know Jasmine Tealeaf, sorry, loves that Elise top, and I'm not surprised to see that picked up. That was target ban for them all last game, and he's going to be happy to finally be allowed to play as hero. We're going to see Jarvan softlock though. Most likely to be in the jungle. It's been quite successful in the past. They'll be excited to do that. And Jarvan, solid, safe jungle, you reckon?
I think that is a very safe jungle. It also opens up a lot of potential for a wombo combo.
And there, I'm not surprised to see this. The Nami as well. As I was saying, with the ban Zara, you could expect Nami to get picked up early.
Yeah, I also really like this Elise pickup. Elise is one of those champions that can be played in every single lane, as top, as mid, as support, and as, of course, as jungle. So once you pick the Elise, it's a little bit deceptive. You don't know where she's going to go. So it makes it a little bit harder to counterpick. You can counterpick Elise in the top lane. So you must be thinking, you've got to wonder where she's going so that you can kind of prepare your team around that kind of playstyle. So it's a very
most
safe
definitely.
pick.
I will be surprised though if we see it on anyone but the Jasmine. I do believe it will be going top, but this is what we were saying earlier. We can expect safe picks because it's the final. These guys don't want to risk it. They're being smart. We're getting Elise picked early. They want that safe hero they've got. standard picks just Jarvan and grabbing Nami, grabbing the 2 core safe picks once again. So I'm not surprised to see this. It is the first game. They're just testing the waters. They want the safe draft. They're just going to follow meta, but there's still a lot of picks to go. We can still get shaken up. They're just looking at Sona. Sona always a strong support. No matter how much they try and nerf her, she just brings so much sustain to that lane, and that massive stun has huge potential in team fights. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is locked in, and it is. So they can sustain up with the Nami, with the Sona. They've still got a bit of poke. If they grab something like an Ezreal as well, everybody hates the lane. The Sona Ez lane, so painful.
So strong.
It's going to be interesting where that goes.
Alright, so Zeratul and Concon are now picking. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if they pick the 80 carry and maybe that top laner, and maybe leave them mid open for the very last pick of the day.
And with Royal Chocobo as their mid, you never know what it's going to be. It could be such an exciting pick, so I would not be surprised. You are right. If they leave that mid pick for last, and as having last pick, they can pick something that cannot be countered, so it could be really unconventional. I'm really excited to see it, but who knows, may just play something more standard mid, but Royal Chocobo, you never know, and that's the exciting thing about a player like this. And we're going to see Aurelia and Varus picked up. No?
Actually, it could be a
It's
Graves.
changing. Looking like it might be Graves.
And that is going to be locked in. Graves and Aurelia have been picked up. Now this is really interesting. Aurelia is one of those champions that is so hard to play, but it's so rewarding when it's played well. SK's Wicked and now EG's Wicked is known for his Aurelia, and absolute menace. Aurelia is quite a safe champion. Considering that it could be against an Elise, it could be against a Jace, I think it was a relatively safe pickup. She does well against both those champions. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well she does in lane. And that Graves as well has the burst damage to really make the Sona pay. She doesn't have the highest HP pool, I think at level 1, if she's not taking the right masteries. She has less HP than a melee minion. So it's going to be really enjoyable to see if the Sona can play safe enough to not get punished by this huge amount of Graves burst that he brings to the table. We've also had Ashe soft locked as well, and we've seen quite a few Ashes today. I wouldn't be surprised if that was locked in.
And you know I'm biting my tongue on this. It's not a pick that I particularly like. I do believe in the arrow. I know the arrow is strong, got such a good long range initiate, but if you know me, it's just not a pick that I am personally a fan of. But it's not up to me, it's up to what they want to play, and Ashe has been successful for them in the past. They did win their last game running Ashe. Sure, it was a 79-minute slugfest or something, but it definitely proved that Ashe can win it late, and maybe I'm wrong about the hero. Maybe it can still rip it up. And look, we're looking at a Heimerdinger. Royal Chocobo, surely he's just messing with me. He loves to do so.
I hope he locks it in. This is a
surely just messing with me. Surely there's no...
Fantastic if he locked that in.
I really wish he did, but I'm sure he's just tricking me. He's just maybe even letting the counter tick down just to really get in my head. I want you to do it, my friends. Lock it in, please. Do it. Go for the Heimerdinger, the big Heimerdinger strat. I don't feel like he's got the right team behind, though. I don't think he's doing. I think he's trolling. He's throwing out a little wink.
Alright, so Singed was locked in. So that says to me that it's definitely Elise jungle, Jace mid, and Singed top. So fairly standard lanes we're seeing, and it is a Lux lock.
That's a Lux lock in.
Dinger. As much as I don't want to see the Dinger played, it really, yeah, you said it, it really isn't the team for it. May see it
That's
in
not the
later
team
games.
for it. But Royal Chocobo, you just never know, man. You never know with that guy. You never know what's going on in his head, and he could have thrown it, but I'm glad he didn't. I would have liked to see it, but I feel like he may have been a little bit too confident in the old grand final picking the Heimerdinger.
It's good stuff. Alright, so we've got 25 seconds left on our delay, and then I will talk about the summoner spells, if there's any curveballs being thrown our way, or anything like that, and I can't wait until we get into it.
Now, how do you feel about the Lux pick map mid, though? How do you feel? It's most likely coming against Jace. Lux vs Jace, what do you think of that matchup?
Lux vs Jace. If it is indeed a Jace is probably a little bit stronger in long engages, but I don't think Lux will ever give him the chance to be like that. Lux will probably poke from far away, will CS from far away, and will never probably get caught out by anything other than a jungle gank. I don't think we're going to see her go down in a 1v1 scenario unless something goes sincerely wrong in that mid lane. So it's a very safe pick as well. Lux also has a lot of potential of killing both Ashe and Sona while they are in the backline. So it was a good champion that kind of counters that long-range poke that we're going to be seeing from those two champions.
That's why I was wondering if they had picked it up, because they do have opted for the Ashe and the Sona, both quite squishy heroes that could potentially get blown up late game by that Lux. Just instantly deleted if they get hit by a combo. So it could be very strong, but it's going to be interesting how they play it out. They've got quite a strong lineup from the Oxys. They've got a Singe, always a nightmare to deal with, and a Jace. We saw how successful that was for them last game, absolutely dominating. So it's going to be quite interesting, and it actually is Elise jungle, so they did surprise me as well. It did not go to Jasmine Tea Leaf like I expected. The jungler wants to prove that he too is an awesome Elise player, so it's going to be really good to see this go down.
It really is. I'm liking both the drafts coming out. I feel like maybe Singe is going to have a good time proxy farming behind the turret. Aurelia does have a bit of an answer towards that kind of thing though. Aurelia's true damage is always going to be good. So it really depends how much magic resist and how much HP and lifesteal she gets that will determine whether or not she can 1v1 this Singed. Because he is a troublesome hero if we're being honest. We don't see enough Singed, just so powerful. So talking a little bit about the summoner spells that have been brought to the fray, Graves is actually taking Cleanse, which is good because you can cleanse Zonan's Crescendo, you can cleanse Elise's Cocoon, and you can cleanse Ash's Enchanted Crystal Arrow. All of which are things that can set up a pretty nasty team fight if they get popped on him. And that's very smart decision making to pick up that cleanse. As well as Aurelia taking Teleport to get a little bit more global presence on the map. We're seeing Ignite coming out on Lux, which is a little bit uncommon. You see Barrier and you see Teleport more often than you see an Ignite on Lux nowadays, just due to the fact that she's not generally in range to use that Ignite.
Yeah, that is one of those things that often catches you out as a Lux. You've got the Ignite, but can you use it? Are you close enough? You don't want to be, but I guess if you ever are, it's going to come handy. I've seen a few people pick up Barrier because they love the mix with that shield, but Barrier is just such a trolling summoner in general. It could really be run anywhere. It really cracks me up, but I'm not too surprised to see the Ignite pick up, though.
No, it's a pretty good pickup. Definitely so, considering if she didn't pick up the Ignite, there would be no Ignite on her team. And that's really worrying when you have someone like Singed, who is definitely going to be running around with the Insanity Potion turned on. Very, very high sustain, very high HP regen. And I feel like if you don't have that Ignite, he has the potential to be like nigh unkillable once he reaches a few core items.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They definitely wanted an Ignite on the team, and I think they had to decide if they were going to run the Teleport on Lux and run the Ignite on the Nami and lose the Exhaust, or lose the Teleport and run the Ignite on the mid. And they've chosen the mid lane. We'll find out if it's the right option. They've obviously really rated the Exhaust. There is some big bursty heroes. Wouldn't be surprised. We did see people skip it on the Ashe in the past, but Ashe still can really use it late game as well. You really like to try to throw that on the ADC. Regardless, there's still a Jace who can put out a bunch of bursts, and it would be useful to stop that as well. So I'm not too surprised they've gone for this lineup. I do think you're right, though. They just needed an Ignite, and I think that's why they've chosen it on the mid hero.
Yeah, I completely agree with that reasoning. Singed is taking Ghost and Ignite, a very inverted composer. An inverted composer, in my opinion, is probably one of the best Singed on the North American server. He wrote a very in-depth guide on how to play Singed, and we see a lot of respect being gifted to him. So most people follow his masteries, his summoner spells, his runes, and his item choices. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a mirror of the inverted composer Singed. So he'll be building a Tear, a Ryla's Crystal Scepter, and Leandrines, and a Thorn Mail very early on. So it's going to be really cool to see how the Singed pans out in this game.
And everyone knows once Singed gets that Tears, it does not take him long to stack it up with leaving his gas on, so it can be extremely scary. Definitely an item that helps Singed break back into the game, though he's always had quite a bit of scene. Ever since Season 1, he's been dibbling around that pro scene because he is just such a trolling hero. He can be so difficult to manage, and he's just an absolute pain. Everybody hates Singed.
Alright, so all the players are showing at 100% load for me, so the game is going to be starting very shortly. And I can't wait to get into this. I don't know what these guys are going to be doing in the first level 1 fight, if they're going to do an invade and get those wards down like usual, or if they're going to do something more defensive. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a more defensive play, as we talked about when they're playing for a big prize pool. You tend to play a little bit conservative, and I wonder if that will be reflected in their level 1 play. And alright, we're getting into it.
I should join the game. Could definitely help. I keep forgetting sometimes when I have the stream up, I forget that I'm not actually watching through my own League of Legends client. So I'll be in a minute. In the meantime, you're just going to have to take over. But
That's
not much will be happening, I don't believe. They'll just be hitting out, maybe dropping a few wards in the jungle.
So the good luck, have fun calls going out. That's always good. Good sportsmanship so far in this tournament, and the Oceanic players are very well managed, which is what we love to see. So, a bit interesting, this Jace, who's either going to be mid or top, is actually starting a Doran's Blade, which is a very aggressive level 1 item. We're seeing both teams just set up some wards, looking to protect their own jungle, it looks like. I think that Noxius Gaming might be invading red side, but I don't know if they're going to do that before Sona arrives. And it is looking like a defensive posturing as well. Nami has opted for a Fairy Charm, whereas Sona's opted to buy several more wards. So I'm wondering if that is going to influence the lane in any way, shape or form. Just considering having a couple of extra wards means you can stay in lane that much longer and you feel that much safer.
Yeah, I'm back in the game now, and though she has bought, it hasn't actually been invested in the lane. It's invested in protecting their red buff. They know that just jungle is such a big thing, and they're actually going to see if these guys walk into a bush, they will notice them with that ward. That's why they're trying to sneak in. They've actually dodged the ward, but no, they're going to give themselves away really badly. And this is why these people are, the sports are investing and dodging that mana regen item, the Fairy Charm, and going for the extra wards, because we've seen this before. We've seen this exact blade come out in the Noxius. They wait for this red steal, they can sneak up, the top laner goes back to top, and they can initiate on the 5v4. So they are just waiting, and they are feeling good. And Royal Chocobo is going to be careful here. He will go down for first blood. Instantly the crit on the Ashe. That's what they did last time as well. It's the ward in the bush. That's why they skip it. It's the new thing for supports now in Oceanic, it seems that they do. They want to protect that jungle and set up the first blood. So that's at the start. We've seen a bit out in the Noxius, and they really like it, and that's why it's proven to be really successful.
So Noxious team do pick up that first blood. The gold does go on the AD carry, the Ashe, and that's exactly where they want it to go as well. Ashe does have a hard landing phase against Graves, so her getting that extra gold early on is going to be fairly essential to how she does. And Graves got poked down quite substantially during that invade as well, so he's already gifted to control of the lane to this Ashe. And it really couldn't go any worse for Graves this early in the game. So hopefully...
Yeah, and I feel like it would have been a lot harder to get that first blood without that. Like, trying to get the first blood on the Graves would have been very difficult. So they'll be happy they've been gifted it there, sadly, by Royal Chocobo with that Lux going side out position. But even if he didn't walk out, they were in trouble anyway. They had the 5v4 surprise attack lined up and ready to go. And we saw this exact same thing in the semifinals. That's a start they really like to run, and it has been so successful for them.
It really has been. Considering this is a best of 5 though, I feel like VGR.Black will learn from their mistakes and will maybe set up something different in the next game. So we're seeing Sona getting some nice poke on this Graves. The Graves is already half HP. He only has sustain from his runes and from his Doran's Blade. So it's going to be a very hard laning phase for him, I feel, unless he goes back very soon and picks up some extra items. Otherwise, it really is going to be a hard laning phase.
That is true, but you can never bring it back. He's a Graves. He's got a lot of early, so he's got a lot of strength in that lane.
NX Dust actually caught out this Jarvan in the top lane. Actually flashes in and is going to get an execute and pick up and reset her buffs. So she actually denies herself under the turret so that Jarvan gets the kill and the buffs are lost, rather than feeding the double buff to Aurelia. So that was really good play.
That's a good decision, because Aurelia double buff would have been really painful, and that would have been a really nice gift for her. He realized he was in trouble, so he did go to kill himself, and that's alright. He's actually played fantastically the last few games, this jungler, and so I'm not surprised that he did find a sneaky kill. He will be upset he died though. That didn't make it as worth it, but still good to see him causing trouble in the enemy's jungle.
And in the top lane, Singe has actually ignited Aurelia. Aurelia used her flash during the invade, and it is high potential for her going down if Singe can get a nice flip off. Lands a nice equilibrium strike though, and is going to be able to walk away safely. So well played by Concon in that top lane on the Aurelia.
And Jarvan's hanging around seeing if he can do anything. He's going to get the red. However, they do have a nice ward in the tri-bush to make sure any ganks coming up towards Singe will be seen in advance. So it is going to be hard to control that Singe at this moment. He's going to be quite safe from ganks. And we see Elise looking at mid. She wants Royal Chocobo, but she's just waiting for the right initiate. Chocobo does hit a stun though, so we got in here. She's just going to jump straight in. She unfortunately misses the stun, but she's going to keep the pressure on. It's not going to be enough, and she's going to have to back out.
Yeah, she is going to have to back out. I think that's alright though. No one lost anything at all. No deaths went either way. So it was a worthy attempt, and you definitely have to make those kind of plays if you want to build on something later on in the game. Try get those flashes out, try get some ignites down, and try and make something happen. Because you're not rewarded for playing incredibly passively, and you are rewarded for setting up those kills, making gank potential happen, and all those kind of good things. So Elise and Jarvan are crowding around this mid lane. It looks like Jarvan's going to go for it. I wonder if Alicia's going to be able to turn this counter gank around on their heads. And it looks like that's not going to happen. Actually, Alicia's going in after this Jarvan. She throws the cocoon, but it does miss. Nice Demacian standard into Dragon Strike coming out from the Jarvan. And he's going to get away safely.
Yeah, at least just the junglers putting pressure on each other. As soon as one rotates to the other one lane, the other one's following it up just to keep the pressure on. Even if both ganks are unsuccessful, they're just matching each other's moves, hanging around, showing each other, if you try and make something, I could be there, and at least gets in the head of the opponent. And the jungler always have to think, is the other jungler following me? He's done such a good job so far. So the mind games are going on. The jungle is always the hard role. You've got to make that impact. You want to be doing something, but it can be so difficult. You've got to rate the right choices. It's a really decision-making based role.
It really is, yeah. We're seeing Jace pretty much use all his mana. That says to me that he wants to go back very shortly. He's just ooming himself so he can go back and buy a tear or something good like that. However, Lux has a pretty good wave clear herself with that Lucent Singularity. It clears waves very quickly. Both players in the mid lane have got pretty good CS. It's actually sitting at 39 to 43 at the moment. No one is really falling behind too much, and it's just that one kill on Royal Chocobo that was from the first Blood Invade.
In the meantime, we did see Jarvan rotate bot. However, the gank was unsuccessful. They did force Ashe back though, and they're just giving Graves some time to catch up. He's now a level higher. They're killed up on levels, but they're just helping Graves, because if Graves can get a little bit big on this Ashe, he can really start the Punisher, and that's what they want to start doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to happen. So Aurelia isn't having a very good time against the Singed in the top lane. Her CS is quite good, but Singed has definitely held control of the lane for the last 7 minutes, really. As soon as he got into lane, he started punishing Aurelia, and it hasn't shown just yet in CS, but I feel like it will as soon as the Singed starts to proxying, and he is going for the proxy right now as I say that. So he has started being that annoying, infuriating Singed that sits behind your turret and steals all your CS. I think he actually left a little bit early, and the Poison Trail isn't going to hurt all those 7 minions.
But he's coming back to fix that up. He doesn't want to let them go. He wants that farm. And he's doing things that only Singed can do. This hero is so difficult to control. He's a really trolling hero. He's played a really unique way. You just want to get that gas on everyone and keep them chasing it. Getting that constant damage. He's so tank, so hard to hold down. And a really useful tank and good hero in general. So they need to watch out. They don't want the Singed to become massive and unkillable. But Aurelia is having a hard time. And J4 is struggling to find a way to get in there and make a difference.
That's the problem with Singed. He has his ghost up. If he has his insanity pot, he is so slippery. Just so much HP regen, so much move speed. And Aurelia's going to have a very hard time locking him down. Especially considering she didn't actually take the ignite. We see Jace getting on Lux in the mid lane, trading some nice damage. Lux returns a light binding, gets a poke on her as well, but it wasn't an equal amount of damage. Jace definitely won that exchange.
Yeah, we see aggression coming out of Graves in the bot lane. They have got the bubble on Sona. She is going to instantly die. If they get that combination out, it's always going to pop one of them. They chose the Sona. She does have low HP. Ashe will be a bit scared in lane now, being there by herself, but they have to be careful. Graves has a 6, and his burst potential is amazing, and if they get caught in that bubble, it is not going to be a fun time bot lane, and this is why they chose Graves. Graves and Nami, very scary. And we see Elise has gone to the blue. I don't believe she stole it. Was it already gone, or has she managed to pinch it? She may have actually. She does have blue, so she's stolen the blue away from the Jarvan. He does not know that yet, so that's really good play by the jungler there. Dust really making the impact, sneaking in, taking buffs, and using this Elise really well.
He is indeed. He's going to pass this blue buff maybe to the Singed, as Singed does have a tear, but it looks more likely it's going to be this Jace. He does jump over the wall, so Jace is going to pick up a blue buff. I think he can solo it, although Elise might stay around to give him a bit of a leash as he is completely out of mana. And there we go, Jace does pick up that blue buff. Aurelia actually trying to trade onto the Singed in the top lane. It just doesn't seem to be so effective though. Singed almost ignoring the Aurelia and being absolutely fine. Elise is coming up the lane for a lane gank though. It's going to get into this bush and maybe get into the closest bush of the tower. Absolutely invisible. So I wouldn't be surprised if Singed flips her out into Cocoon and we're going to see a little bit of a skirmish go down here.
Yeah, they do not know that Elise is in that bush. She managed to sneak in there, so she's in a good position. But he flung a creep, unfortunately. I don't think that's what he was intending to do, but it does happen. You are right. And then Elise, just being patient, waiting for the right moment to jump out and cause that gank. Patient jungling obviously comes with experience. Doesn't want to give it away. They know they have a potential to make something happen. She is going to come out here. They're missing the cocoon though, but they might be able to get enough damage. That is going to just back off here. But she can definitely do this. Here we go. Here's the rappel come down. Goes for the execute, but does not get it off. But here comes Singe with that speed, definitely going to pick up a kill here. And now Jarvan, here a little bit too late. I don't believe he'll be able to make any impact. And they're going to change that about Elise soon. How she rappels down, the Spiderlings come out first, so they take the first few hits from the tower. That soon will be changed to League of Legends so that Elise comes down first. So in situations like that with the rappel, the tower will start targeting her first. So that's a change we can expect in the future, but at the moment, it is totally viable for Elise's to come down from the rappel, use the Spiderlings to tank the tower, and get those final attacks off they need.
Yeah, really well played by NX Dust, securing that kill for his lane Singed, and Singed is not someone that you want to have kills on. He is such a troublesome hero at the best of times. Never mind having a fed Singed, that's absolutely horrific to play against. Jarvan and Lux were coming down to maybe make something happen on the Jace. Jace uses his hyper acceleration gate, switches forms to get the move speed boost, and just walks away. Doesn't have to pop flash or anything like that. And a nice ward that alerted him to the fact that Lux and Jarvan were coming down.
Yeah, and we got an arrow coming in down the lane. It isn't going to hit, but that would have been amazing if it did. Could have set up a kill easily with the jungler rotating down, that dust on that Elise. Could have set it up. We're going to see Lux binding hit Jace here. It's going to take a little bit of harassment. Lux just trying to do what she can to give him a hard time in the lane. We see Dragon Pings coming out, so they are interested in it. They're thinking about it, but no one's actually able to go rotate the team there and get that. But that will be an objective people are thinking about quite soon. In the meantime, a lot of people are just happy with this farming game. They just want to get the CS up, keeping themselves in the game and getting ready. They try to get the bubble off bot, but do not hit. So not much action is going to happen down there for a while till those cooldowns are back. We got no Jace mid lane, so Lux is just going to enjoy the free farm. Elise heading towards the dragon. She's making her way bot. She has been spotted though, so they should know she's on her way down.
Yeah, and Singed again is just bullying this Aurelia. It looks like he's going to go and put a deep ward in his opponent's jungle, which is pretty naughty of him, to be honest. And it looks like he might even come around to do some more proxying. That ward that he just placed ensures that if a jungler comes to, see him or anything like that, he'll be able to have that vision, have that control, and will know when to run away. And as we all know, Singed is pretty goddamn good at running away.
Yeah, that's one thing he can definitely do really well, and he would not have a problem doing so. Singe is just such a pain, and I feel like this Singe is just going to become more and more annoying the further this game goes. He's going to become uncontrollable at some point. They've got to somehow find a way to deal with him, and we're going to find out what they're going to do. In the meantime, we're just going to happily keep farming. We see bot. We've got the junglers down there. They don't know Dust is there, but they do miss the Sona ult. This could be really good. Sona's going to go down. That was really costly. Japle's there. The arrow comes out, but Dust is in trouble. He's going really aggressive. He repels up, but he's called out. He will definitely go down too. This is another kill for the Graves. Double kill. They didn't know both junglers were there. They had a pink ward now. They didn't have that before, so both junglers surprised the bot lane. However, the missed Sona ult was so crucial. It just totally allowed them to just beat down with the Graves, stick out that damage they want, and they deliberately left him that second kill as well on that Elise. They're really trying to get him the gold. Really well played by them to pick up that double kill.
Yeah, and Graves is one of those heroes that would be so effective against Noxius Gaming's team comp. Graves can blow up both the Ashe and the Sona with very little trouble at all, especially if he starts hitting those core items like Bloodthirster and Last Whisper and anything like that. So he's definitely looking for that pure AD damage, and it's worked out so well for him so far. He's got really nice CS. He's 3-0-0, so a very nice comeback considering how bad that level 1 fight went for him.
And the blue pickup with the ult from Lux, so she doesn't have to leave lane, giving her that mana regen and cooldown reduction. Well done, times well for the jungle, showing they have good communication. But that's expected from a team in the grand finals of this tournament, so we can expect to see such well coordination throughout players throughout this best of 5.
Alright, so Graves has finished that Bloodthirster and also picked up a pickaxe. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a very early Last Whisper. He's just looking to get that unmitigated AD damage out on this Ashe and this Sona. And I think once he does land that huge buckshot into collateral damage, it's going to be enough to really melt through them, especially if it's prefaced by a Nami bubble or even a tidal wave. If anything like that happens, he's going to have no trouble at all killing one or both of them.
And now Jarvan and Aurelia going on to the Singed. I do not know if they have the damage to take it down. Singed will happily run around in this gas, but he has been caught in the Jarvan ult, and he does not run flash, so he's struggling to get out of it. He will take a bit of damage,
He's going back
but it's okay, because he can just run. This is Singed for you. He just wants to get gas all over the place, and it is so effective. He can just chase. You do not want to chase this in. It is so horrible, and this is how you play the hero. Just back and forth, gas everywhere. They will win that trade now, and in return, he will get top tower for it. So another well played by Singed. Singed, they just don't really have an answer for that hero.
No, they don't at the moment. Usually I say that a hyper carry is the hero that you want to have if you want to beat a Singed. So a Vayne or a Caitlyn or a Tristana, they're the kind of champions that can melt a Singed late game without too much stress. Now, I'm saying without too much stress, even though he is such a huge tank that hyper carries need a couple of core items to bring him down. Graves isn't the kind of carry that is extremely effective against Singed, so they might.
The other warriors, they have a Lux mid. Where do they have a solution to the Singed? That's what I'm struggling to find. I don't find where the hero that can deal with them. They have the Graves, so they don't have the big hyper carry bot. They have the Lux, who's also good. They have these heroes good at popping off the Sona and the Ashe, these low squishy heroes. Even Elise will take a lot of burst damage from these combos. But what's the answer for the Graves? I mean, for the Singed? That's what I'm struggling to see in this lineup, and that's what I'm worried about.
I'm having trouble to see where they're going to find the counter to the Singed as well, but we're going to wait and we'll see if VGR.Black have an answer that we don't see, if they have a way to bring him down that we're unaware of, so let's see if the team can make something happen.
And this is probably the least amount of wards I've ever seen in this tournament right now. There's not much vision except in that little blot lane, so they've got to be careful running around the map. Black is having a bit of trouble on that Jarvan, getting harassed by that gas from Singed.
Yeah, and Jarvan's now in the Wraith camp. Singed is going to spot him. If he comes in with a flip, he could probably make something happen. He has quite a bit of AP at the moment. He's got his Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He's got a tier that's almost at 300 out of 750 stacks. So the Singed is in a good place at the moment, item-wise. Elise is roaming bot, trying to make something happen. Ashe's Crystal Arrow is up, so that's available as a gank initiate. And let's see if something long range can happen.
Yeah, in the meantime, there's not much action going down. Both teams just eyeing each other. The Singed just causing trouble at top. You feel like the player's going to come out from bot, but at the same time, they're just both happy farming. Elise is nowhere near. I've put my vision on one team. That's why I'm so confused. Now I'm back in. Jarvan is rotating bot. Everything makes a lot more sense now.
Fair enough.
Here we go.
Are you on live?
I wondered why the map... I am, but I wondered why the map was so unwarded. It was because I only had half the vision.
Alright. So Aurelia is trying to deal with the Singed in the top lane, but it just doesn't matter to him. All he does is turn his gas on and try farm, and he's sitting on 160 CS right now compared to Aurelia's 116, and I feel like that just might not have been the pick that they needed to shut the Singed down. Although, who do you pick against a Singed? Maybe a Rumble could win the lane, but it's still a very hard hero to counter. Nice.
Yeah, I have no idea what you meant to run, especially with Elise already being picked up by that team. That's a hero that can usually chomp out a few of the tanky heroes up top. Don't know how it matches against Singed, but that was not an option for them at least. So they were probably struggling to find the answer. Maybe they'll have an answer. I just haven't seen it. I'm not going to give up on them. I don't think it's over, that's for sure. It's still a close game, 4-4. The gold's still really close, only about 2k separating. Still open, but that Singed is just, there's no answer at the moment, and that's what's worrying about this game. Tower's going down. Both teams, I believe, taking a tower each. Bot tower going down by that Ashe.
It is 3-1 in favor of Noxius Gaming. 3 turrets, already picked up every single one of the outer turrets. Ashe arrow coming out. Is this going to land on the Lux? No, it is juked out of. So well played by Royal Chocobo. Had a vision ward on the Ashe, saw the enchanted crystal arrow, and made sure she didn't get hit by that. That's a 5-second stun at max range, so very painful if you're not prepared for it. So Aurelia is recalling. Aurelia's itemization, she's just finished her Wit's End, so that might be something that's very, very helpful against the Singed. It'll give us some magic resistance, some attack speed, and bonus magic damage on hit. So all that kind of good stuff that Aurelia wants.
In the meantime, they got that other turret down with that Graves, and Ashe first to Graves in the 1v1. She's trying to cut him out, but she just knows she cannot get too close to him. She doesn't want to deal with that burst damage at all. It is so painful on a hero like Ashe. She's just got to be careful. She doesn't know where the Nami is either. The Nami's actually just going up. I believe she's just going to ward the dragon. She puts a pink down, but there is no actually enemy wards there, so she's got nothing to clear. But they'll just be happy to know that dragon's there and unwarded.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think we've seen a big dragon play yet this game. Neither team has really been in the position where they felt it was safe and secure to take that first objective, and it's absolutely fine. I might as well not do it if you're worried about it. And wow, this Aurelia gets some nice damage onto Singed, but Singed hasn't used his Insanity Potion yet, or his Ignite. The Ignite does come down on the Aurelia. Let's see if Jasmine Tea Leaf is going to do something. Maybe Ghost under the turret and try to get a kill? Could be really interesting.
In the meantime, the Dragon is now being taken out by Noxius. They're going to go for it. They've forced the other team away from it, so they are going to get it uncontested. That was nice. Easy Dragon for them. They're now going to Flash Stun with Sona. They're going to go for it. Graves gets shut down. The Lux ult comes down. It's not going to do near enough damage, but here's the stun, the binding. Nami follows up with a bubble as well as her ult. They're going to try for the damage on Elise, but she's going to get out of there. And that was really well played by the Noxius, setting that up, getting the Dragon. Nice flash. Sona ult, making up for the one she missed earlier, saying that I've still got it. I can ult. I'm a Sona, ripping it up. And that was really well played.
Yeah, most definitely. So that was a Dragon pickup as well as the shutdown bounty. So they're going to be feeling pretty happy about that. It was Ariel, the Jace, that picked up the shutdown bounty. And he's already got his Last Whisper, his Brutalizer, his Tear, and his Ionian Roots of Lucidity. So he's getting towards the core itemization of Black Cleaver, Muramana, and Last Whisper. So as soon as he hits that, there's a tremendous power spike. As soon as he completes his Muramana as well, that's another power spike, and Jace is looking pretty good to be a big hyper carry this game.
And is he still able to stack his tears by changing form? Is that
no,
still
that
possible?
has been removed.
So that has been removed. There's no longer, you'll see them rushing that mana mute and instantly upgrading it as quickly as possible by spamming that form change. But we will see him get there eventually. It's already up to 500 stacks out of the 750, so it won't be too long till he gets that, till he has that maxed out tears, and he'll be looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, Singed has already finished his Archangel staff. It's at 508 out of 750 stacks, so he's getting onto that Seraph's Embrace. He's already got quite a lot of HP from Rylai's, and using his passive, that Bulwark, to get himself extra HP. He's actually got an extra 400 health just from the mana he's got. Singed is one of those really tricky heroes, and I really like how he works and how his kit works together.
Yeah, I feel like this has been quite a defensive game played, and I believe it's just because, as we were talking about before, it's the first game, it's the grand finals, and people tend to just go for what they feel safe in these options, and I feel that's what we've seen. We've got quite a safe lineup going, and Jace is going to be careful. He did not recall in time. The arrow comes out. He's going to be right. He is going to get out of there, but that would have given him a little bit of a fright. But in the meantime, there's just nothing to do with Singed. Singed is just still top, having the time of their life. They're struggling 5v4, while Singed is just going to keep splitting, keep farming, getting big. I don't know what they can do about him. And in fact, Singed is going to start rotating towards the actual team fight, coming down to that mid lane from the top. He's had enough time up top. He just wants to have some fun. He's feeling really big, and he's feeling excited. So he's going to rock down, but he's actually going to get called out. I think they know he's there. No, they don't. They're actually just going to leave him. So he's coming in behind.
So 5 people from VGR.Black are setting up in this mid lane. The mid turret is down. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is down as well, so you're not going to see that long range initiate, and it looks like both teams are just going to peel away. I think that was pretty good for VGR.Black. Secured the soft objective and are looking pretty intimidating at the moment. They've grouped up now because they don't want the Singed to be split pushing or anything like that, as Singed doesn't have teleport, and he's actually caught out. This could be the
This is what they want. This is really strong. He's going to go down there. That was the luck stun setting him up. He was too aggressive. He felt too strong. Got twofold, and that's what they can do. Singed isn't invincible. Maybe I was talking him up a little bit too much, because he can be defeated. He cannot 1v5 yet, and that stun just set him up to go, and now they're feeling good. They know Singed is down. They hadn't been a chance. It's 5v4. The big threat's been removed from the game, but that poke from Jace is still holding them back and doing so much damage. They may not be able to push up on this and take advantage.
Yeah, so this wave clear coming out from Noxious Gaming is pretty good, but I think that VGR.Black can probably siege onwards if they want, but it looks like they are going to peel away. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up. I wonder if we're going to see an Ash Arrow coming out.
And as mean as I am to Ashes, those volleys were really successful in clearing the creeps and giving that clear path for the Jace to just shoot into his range. And another good Sona ult coming out, trying to save the day. The Ash Arrow also hitting Graves too, but we're going to see Aurelia jump in on that. She will go down, but taking out the Ash too. Jace pick up the other kill. The big Lutz ult comes out, shut down Golden Jarvan on the Jace. They'll be able to pick up that kill. Elisa's going to try run away with Jarvan on the neutral creep. She does flash out of the Jarvan ult, but flashes down. The stun comes out, does hit Jarvan, but they're going to go for it. Royal Chocobo gets flinged and hurt. Singed is back up, and Singed wants revenge for getting killed, and this is not good. He's going to do so much damage with this gas. They're trying to take him down. He's actually getting quite low. Graves going for it. Another fling from Graves. Graves goes down, and Singe coming back in from dying, really ripping up that fight. Lots of deaths coming around, lots of low HP heroes as well. Dust just surviving on that Elise. Crazy team fights, but showing the game's a lot closer than I thought. These fights can go either way.
And that was a 2 for 3, I think, in favor of Noxious Gaming. And it was a very, very low HP Singe and a very low HP Elise getting away. And that's pretty good for Noxious Gaming. They needed that team fight to be successful. It felt like VGR.Black has brought a little bit of their power back into this mid game, and we're doing very well. So,
however, VGR.Black did pick up 2 shutdowns there, I believe. So that is a lot of gold going their way. Even though they may have killed less heroes, they may have even earned more overall gold just by how much the heroes are actually worth from the Oxys. So they'll definitely be happy to have just picked up those 2 kills and got more gold onto their team side.
yeah, most definitely. Pings are going down on Dragon. I think the teams must have timed it, and they know when that Dragon is popping up. Nami is putting some wards down. Might get caught out though. A lot of people are sitting around there. No, she's gonna be absolutely fine. So wards are being put down, wards are being cleared away. Nami does have a pink ward, but she might not put it into the brush that the green wards have been put in. So, and Sona does have an Oracle, so she definitely has control of this fight. Wow, nice Lux Laser coming out. Not as much damage as I expected. Does anyone have a Bulwark at this? Okay, so NX Dust already has a Bulwark at this point in time, and that's really minimizing the amount of damage that Lux is going to do until she gets some spell penetration, because he has 0 at the moment.
Yep, but he does have his 0Fs up, and he's nearly finished his death cap, so he's going to have a lot of AP. He will need that spell pen though, that's for sure, but he is getting his items slowly, and it's looking like those lasers will do damage in the end. Do not worry, is what I'm trying to say, but at the moment they are a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, they are indeed. So, the Oracles is up. Wow, nice initiate from the Java. NX Dust does go into the repel. Crescendo does come out. So does Graves collateral damage. Elise and Singe are chasing down the squishies in the back line. Java uses Cataclysm to try to lock up Elise, but it looks like Noxious Gaming are definitely in the driver's seat at the moment. They've picked up 3 kills already. And it looks like
Graves went hard on the Singed. He really wanted to take him out, but that took him out the team fight. He spent a lot of time focusing him. It may not have been the right decision. It may have been. They wanted to get rid of him, but he's in a lot of trouble now. He will go down. Triple kill goes to Jace. So that's going to be really good for them. They're going to be really happy. That fight, the really good Nami ult to disengage after the Sona ult, but it just didn't go their way. Their focus a bit over the place. Singe just tanked way too much. Singe did die, but they ended invest a lot of damage into him, and in doing so, received too much damage in return.
That's so true. Aurelia didn't get a full set of Transcendent Blades off, which would have really helped during the fight. Lux missed a couple of people with a laser as well, and laser only came up towards the end of the fight. Really wasn't the fight that VGR.Black wanted, and Noxious Gaming took that one away, 4 for 1, picked up the Dragon as well, and they're definitely looking pretty at the moment, with a 6.3k gold advantage.
That's definitely true. The gold's in their favor, and their Jace is 6 for 1 with 2 assists, so he's feeling really big. That's where a lot of the money is going, and they're going to be really happy with that. Jace is becoming a really scary factor in that team now, and it's looking really promising for them.
And Jace just finished his Black Cleaver, as well as completing his his Mana Moon, and he's 2 mana away from finishing his Mirror Mana. So Jace is going to have 3 core items, plus his Ionian Boots of Lucidity, so I guess that's a temporary 4 core items. Very, very scary 6, 1, and 2 Jace with very nice CS as well. And NX Aerial is probably the MVP.
And he's 1 spell away from upgrading. There we go. Muramana is up now on him, so he's become a whole lot more scary as well, finishing off that item. He'll happy to have that fully up and upgraded.
Yeah, he's also got a blue buff and is heading top lane to just shove this lane back as Aurelia was pushing it. So, what do you think VGR.Black need to do to bring this game back into their court, as it were?
Well, the team fights aren't actually going as bad as I thought. The problem is just where they're focusing their damage. It's going on the wrong targets. They're struggling with the Singe. The Singe is just causing them a lot of trouble. I don't know now if they can even take the 5v5 fight. They're going to need to capitalize on a mistake made by Noxius, if they make one, that is. But they got to be ready for it. They're just going to keep their items up, keep their gold up, and be ready that if there is a mistake, they can pounce. So they're going to be looking at maybe a really good Baron fight, or just catching a few people off positions, picking out a few heroes, and then initiating in the big 5s. But I feel like their team definitely does not want to meet in these 5v5 engages at the moment.
Probably not at all. Not until Lux gets a Void Staff or some form of spell penetration. Wow, we're actually seeing...
And here we go, here's that Jace just jumping straight on the Lux. Luckily that arrow didn't hit anyone, that could have been very painful for them. And we're going to see Elise chase this up. She's going to go for it with that Repel. Singe has been right up there, going to take a bit of damage to the laser. Singe does go down, and now they got them a Blitz split. This could be a bit better for them. Graves is chasing up, trying to get the Elise skill. He does want it, he's got the support, he is going to get that kill too. In the meantime, we got the other 3 heroes. Jace is still alive, doing so much damage to that J4. J4's going to knock him up, and the Ash though, they're going to jump in on this. Aurelia's going in too, but Jace does pick up the kill on J4, but he should go down for this. It's going to be Graves picking up the kill, I believe. If he goes for it, can he get the kill? No! He does get the kill in him, but they trade badly. They could have done it a bit better. In the ends though, it's going well. Can they take up the Sona too? Sona's to support. Lux should be able to do this, but he's going to go for it. It's Killer Sona. Can he make it? No, he doesn't. Really, really close fight though. Really intense. That's how they did it though. They split the team fight up, then they turned around, got the right targets. I feel like Jace just didn't die on the lowest health. He just had to get hit big by Graves. He got out a lot of damage there, but they managed to win that team fight really well. That's how they do it. They got to play
3, yeah, and
really clutch, really intense. And what happened there is just Graves got no focus. They didn't focus him at all, and he kept getting in good positions and gets to pump out heaps of damage. So they now know they've got to be more careful about making sure that Graves gets blown up early. If they just let him keep chunking, he can hurt them in big time.
So that's a Graves that is 8-4-3. He's picked up his BT, his Phantom Dancer, his Last Whisper, and he's got another BF sword. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a second Bloodthirster. He's not getting many auto attacks off, but his collateral damage and his buckshots do so much pure damage. And I feel like that might almost be a better path. Maybe even a Mercurial Scimitar to, help him out with that cleanse. But I don't feel like Infinity Edge is the item for him this game, but I could be wrong, so let's see what he ends up going for.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is the Infinity Edge pickup though. He might just want that extra late game damage because they got to still chunk out that Singe and he's so scary, but he's been doing well. That was a really good fight for them and they'll be happy. I don't know why he didn't kill that Jace. That Jace was on one more hit for so long. I think he just assumed he was going to die and he just kept surviving and got so much damage off. Graves could have almost even survived that fight if he had just killed him a little bit earlier, but they'll still be happy. They'll just be happy for once they won the team fight and it's looking good.
It is looking good. So this Ash Crystal Arrow is back up. So I'm looking forward to seeing if she's going to land this and if it's going to trigger another big team fight. She really needs to hit one of those crucial targets like Lux or Graves though. I feel like Lux is very hard to kill at the moment. She is building towards Azonia's Hourglass instead of Magic Pen. And wow, the ult actually comes out across the Baron. It doesn't actually hit anyone though. Not a huge cooldown timer on that though. It's down to, wow, 32 seconds. On Lux,
yeah, so he's willing to throw it out. He's not too worried about that though. They did have vision on that Baron, so I was surprised he's trying to wake it up to do the damage or something. I'm not too sure what Royal Chocobo was thinking, but it doesn't matter. And there goes the Ash, hits the jump though. That's the target they'll be happy with. But that's a better shot by Jace, hitting the support and the ADC. The support's been stunned there. No, it's actually Lux. Lux needs to get out of here. He does not want to get picked, so that'd be really painful. We're going to shoot a laser back just to give a bit of harassment. That's the cooldown for you, 30 seconds. Scene 2 really quickly. He's not afraid just to throw those rounds. That's Lux for you. And they're just going to go, it's just looking like the teams are just having fun, looking at each other. They're just waiting to capitalize on each other's mistakes. And that's what this dancing about. They're just trying to get creeps and wait for a mistake to be made. Sona at the moment doing a good job clearing the wards, keeping their Baron control, because Baron could be a really big factor in a game that's tight like this.
It really could be. I don't feel like either team wants to do it while all 5 members are up and alive and ready to contest it though. It's something that needs to be done when they see people on the wrong side of the map or when someone has been picked off. I don't feel like they should force a 5v5 around Baron by any means. It's a very temperamental plan. It can go very wrong or very right, and it's probably too iffy for them to decide to do that without something happening beforehand.
No, most definitely. I do not recommend going for the risky Baron. It's called the risky Baron for a reason. It's because it's not the safest move to make a lot of the time.
Not at all. And we're seeing blue team picking up the dragon. Everyone's just recalling. They're sitting in quite a bit of gold at the moment. Jace is actually sitting on 2,300, so I wonder what he's going to pick up. It could very well be that Guardian Angel, and it is. So he picks up a GA as well as a red pot, if I'm not mistaken. So he is in a good place to fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Noxius Gaming actually forcing a fight rather soon, now that a couple of those core items have been picked up.
And you see, because Sona did such a good job clearing the wards and rewarding Baron, VGR.Black have no idea if they're at the Baron Pit or not, and because they have not seen the heroes for a while, they've been worried. You saw Royal Chocobo throw out an ult earlier just to check and to see if it was safe. They don't realize, but they're in a lot of woods, so they definitely know this is being done, but they're trying to rush it, get the sneaky Baron. This is the risky Baron we're talking about. They've obviously decided it is worth the risk.
Oh,
they're going for it, but they're going to be in a bit of trouble because the other team did know they had good vision, but they're going all in for the risky Baron, and they do pick it up. It's all about just not all dying here now. We see Royal Chocobo flash over the ends. He is safe. He's going to throw a laser out doing damage on the Singe. Singe is still really tanked. We're going to see Ash go down most likely
Nice,
to the Java here. No, she just gets away. Singe with the fling. Singe does die, but he just saves his Ash on the lowest HP. At least with the cleanup with their repel, but the shield's coming out, keeping her alive from the Lux, doing their best to keep her ally alive. The ally is still there. Finally goes down to the chase.
Nice.
At least super low, but here comes Jace with the cleanup. Triple kill. Very scary. Got a GA up too. Nice dodge from the Graves there, but this Jace super scary.
Wow, he really is. 11-2-3. NX Ariel showing off what he can do on that Jace. Zeratul actually coming in to 1v1 him though. Ariel does a nice exchange, and the shutdown.
He's actually doing alright. He didn't win it, but considering the difference, it was really good. Oh, the laser misses. They almost could have picked the GA, but he was never actually going to win that fight. The GA would have come up, but it was risky. He had to try. He went all in, and at least they took the Baron. That was really well done. And then they almost took the Ash as well as the Singe. They only managed to get the Singe in the end. That was really well played by the Singe. However, just Jace free to just clean up. And he does so much damage at the moment. As you said, 12 for 2. Absolute humongous hero right now and really scary. They might start thinking they want to prioritize him as a target. The problem is he has that GA. It's still up. They can't invest all that damage on him. And they're just having trouble now. Just big heroes coming out of the Noxius side.
It is absolutely huge, Jace. He's actually picked up a BF sword. That's going to be a bloodthirster as soon as he can afford it. And Jace is sitting on so much damage, 353 damage. He's also got so much penetration through that last whisper, through that black cleaver, and he's looking in a really good place. I think if they get into an extended siege, Jace, with his absolutely amazing poke, is going to be able to pretty much change the face of a battle all by himself.
Yeah, and that poke's doing a lot of damage to those squishier heroes, especially that Lux and that Nami have to be really careful not to take too much. Anyway, in the meantime, you see them going in on the Aurelia. It's Elise and Singe committing to the kill. She's only on half health now, but she is going to have to be careful in this lane. It's going to allow them to put more pressure on. In the meantime, Jarvan is going to be careful here. He's really close to 3 enemy heroes. They're going to take that blue buff, give it to Jace, so he can just keep spamming his spells. So he's going to be really happy with that cooldown reduction. And now they're split pushing. They got Elise and Singe top, and they've got 3 bot. This can be really strong because they're going to struggle to deal with the split push. There's just way too much pressure. Jace is really big, so he's like a monster by himself. Singe is hard to deal with. I don't think they're going to be able to deal too well with the split push, but instead, the other heroes are rotating bot. They're not going to try to get that top tower, it seems, and they're just disengaging. They're just waiting for mistakes. Both teams playing careful because it's the finals. They're feeling the pressure, and they don't want to throw this game. They just want to slow roll and get an easy win. So they've got to be careful. Each team is just waiting for the mistake to absolutely capitalize.
Yeah, you're completely right. And as I predicted, Jasmine Tea Leaf, showing respect to the inverted composer, has pretty much mirrored his build absolutely exactly. So he's got the Thorn Mail that builds up his damage, he's got the Seraphs, he's got the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, he should have a Leandrins as his next item. He's actually opting for an Abyssal Scepter, that's going to help him against the Lux, and I feel that's a fine decision as well. So, Team Noxius pushing down this bot turret. I think it's 3 people in the bot lane, 1 mid and 1 top, and they're doing a kind of Dignitas style push in every single lane and trying to put the pressure on.
And they are exceeding to do so. There's no room for Noxius to move at all. Not the Noxius, sorry, for VGR.Black to move at all. They're forced into their base. They can just slightly poke out into these lanes, but they have to be so careful. It's only a matter of time till this bot lane goes down. There's just too much siege potential. They clear creeps way too fast, but they are going to back this up. They're going to go for it. They're going straight on the Jace. They got the Jarvan ult up, and Jace just jumps over there, and he's going to go for Graves, but he's going to take a lot of damage. His GA is down. They're going to wait for him to spawn. They're going to want this kill really badly. They do get the shutdown. It goes to Lux, so they're going to be really happy to go for that. They wanted that Jace. They knew he was the target, and they're going to be really glad with that pick off. They've now just got to make sure top's okay. It's Aurelia dealing with 2. She's got the Elise and the Singe giving her pressure. They want that tower, so they are pushing both lanes, but that Jace pick off is what they really needed to relieve and give themselves a bit of space.
Yeah, fair enough as well. Aurelia just clearing the top wave. Singe is such a menace at the moment. Singe actually has around about 93 CS over this Aurelia, and that really matters. The gold between Aurelia sitting on 10,000 gold, roughly close to quite close to 11,000, and Singe is sitting on 13.6 thousand. So it's quite a bit of distance between the two champions. And Singe is getting very, very tanky. He has finished an Abyssal Scepter now.
And Lux having to blow her barrier, blowing the barrier off Ashe, putting her down about half health with her combo. She should be happy there, but she does have a GA up. And GAs will be a bit of trouble for Lux because they will be able to get sniped out by their ult and still survive. And if they're far enough back, be protected. Unlike we saw with the Jace, where he was all alone with his GA, so it was wasted. He couldn't do anything about that. It was always going to go down. So GA, you've got to be smart with it. If it can be useless, it can be the absolute most breaking item in the game. So it's all about where you die, the positioning of the death, and how it goes off. It's got a long cooldown too, so you've got to be wise with it.
So Ashe has also picked herself up a GA, and that's important to note. Once both GAs are back out, that's such an intimidating fight that Noxius Gaming is going to bring to the table. Not only do you have to, get rid of this Singed, who's going to be so hard to kill, you also have to kill the Ashe twice, you have to kill the Jace twice, and I'm not sure you can do that without taking, heavy casualties. So it's going to be a very dirty fight for VGR.Black to try to take this one away.
Yeah, they're going to want to pop those GAs off before the fights like they had done with the Jace. It's going to be difficult to do too because it's really rare that the Noxius makes a mistake that you can capitalize on, but they've got to hope for it and they've got to go for it. They might try finally take down this tier 1 top tower, but since it's been out for 40 minutes, they'll definitely it's had a good life. You can't complain about that. A 40-minute tier 1 tower.
And VGR.Black,
and it's finally been destroyed.
The gold difference is about 6k, roughly 6.7k or something very close to there, and that's definitely in favor of Noxious Gaming. They've got a bit of a CS lead, they have the kill lead, they've also picked up a bit more dragons, and they have more turrets. So that's where the gold advantage comes from. It's not game over by any means necessary, although I feel like Noxious Gaming do scale a little bit better into the late game, and they are going for it. Nice crystal arrow coming out onto the Jarvan, and the pause comes out.
It is actually going to be a really strong engage. They don't have much to deal with. These two heroes have been caught out alone. I'm interested to see what this pause is for. Hopefully nobody's DC'd. It's quite a controversial pause at an unfortunate time, but this is going to be a really big initiate when this unpause happens. They're all caught out alone, and this is not what they needed right now.
No, yeah. So that's 3 people of Noxious Gaming collapsing on this Jarvan and on this Nami,
I believe, yeah.
So I feel like the Nami is going to absolutely explode. She does have flash, but I'm not sure she can get out of it. The Jarvan does have flash as well. I'm not sure if he's used Demacia in standard. I can't check his cooldowns right now while we're in pause, but it could be a very bad situation at all.
Yeah, and if you look at his ult, it is spazzing out. I'm pretty sure he's absolutely just casted it. Is he going to try Jarvan ult and then flash out over it himself to try get distance that way? I believe that's what he's going to try to do. So he's going to try escape, but I feel like they're going to be in trouble. Lux is just a bit out of range. She's not going to be able to reach them with any spells. Graves is too far away. Aurelia is really far away. She's going to take far too long to get there. And here we go. That's why we had the pause. We have the DC from the Graves, so hopefully we get him back in the game soon so we can carry it on. But that is what's happening. Jarvan's literally paused on his ult. His cooldown is spazzing out. I think he's just going to ult straight down, flash over, and try run for his life.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's going to be a very... as soon as it resumes, it's going to be pretty chaotic. These guys have the luxury of time now to work out what's going to happen and what they want to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of action happens in a very small amount of time as soon as the game is unpaused. And I'm wondering who's going to go in the favor of. And Zeratul actually DCs again, so hopefully his issues can be sorted and we can get into this one.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate, but this does happen in esports. Sadly, computers are not 100% reliable, so he's just having a little bit of difficulties. Hopefully we get him back up soon and can carry on this best of 5 grand finals. It hasn't been the biggest exciting game we've had so far this tournament. It's been quite lackluster actually. Been a very slow game, but it is the start of the grand finals. Once teams start understand each other better and start feeling the pressure, hopefully we'll see some better and more aggressive lineups come up. But people will be careful because it's so much on the line. They really, really want to win this tournament.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so while we wait for everyone to come back, there has been some PvE patch notes. Apparently, Vayne is being changed again.
Well, Vayne has been very popular in the Oceanic server. Have you not just been finding Vaynes nearly every single game? People loving it. I don't know if it's to do with just everyone's so happy they can finally play like a pingless Vayne, can actually start tumble dodging spells, or if it's just that Vayne is so hyper carrying in the meta right now. It's actually getting quite a few big bans in the LCS, and people were starting to worry about it. I'm not actually too surprised they're affecting targeting Vayne again, to be honest.
So I feel like Vayne is definitely a carry that does incredibly well, but you have to have a high skill level to play her properly, especially against something like a Caitlyn or a Graves, something that can really punish you for playing that low HP AD carry. So I hope she doesn't get nerfed into the ground. She's one of my favorite AD carries to watch and favorite AD carries to play. So.
On the other hand, I would love her to be nerfed to an unplayable hero, so I stop getting rolled by Vaynes and Vaynes. I would happily never see that hero again.
Fair enough. Different opinions. Alright, so we have been paused for 4 minutes. I'm hoping Zeratul just has to restart his computer or something simple like that. I'd really not like to have a DC, because we are far enough into the game that we can't just restart it. It would have to be a 5v4 stomp in favor of Noxius Gaming. So I'm hoping he can sort this out in the pause delay that we do have. And we have got the reconnect, so that's what we want to hear. Alright, so everyone's saying, are you ready? And then we'll be getting into it. And the slash pause will be coming up very, very
soon. Unfortunate time to pause, but it does happen. If Graves was DC'd, they had no other choice. But we're going to see, hopefully all the players are ready to react in time, and we can see what's going to happen here. We've paused at such a dramatic moment. I don't think that bubble's going to hit anybody.
No, it's not.
I like the ambition.
Alright, so unfortunately internet issues do happen, and the League of Legends client is anything but stable. So here we go. The delay has been unresolved.
And there we go, there's the ult, he is going to flash out, and here comes the Lux laser coming down. They actually got out of the way there nicely. It may be different, they had a bit more time to react to the pause. That is a bit unfortunate, but they are going to follow this up. Jarvan's going to try to jump through everyone, knocking them all up, and a good bubble following through. Graves is sticking out heat damage, this is what they want. Jarvan will go down though, and there's that Jace still just dominating. Graves is low, he is going to be low, not Graves, sorry, Sins, and he is going to run, but that Jace just still full health, not getting focused. He's now getting beaten up a bit. Lux actually doing quite a bit of damage to him, and now that Ashe is on the run, she does have her GA up, so that will help her. We are waiting. When will Lux get her cooldown back? That's what she's probably hoping for. She wants to get a big laser and snipe somebody. Here it comes, and they are going to get the GA down, and this is good because no one's here to protect her. I don't believe Jason's going to come in. He'll most likely leave her to die, so that is the Ashe pick up, and that was a really good fight. Once again, Graves unfocused. Jason for a large portion of the time as well, but he only managed to take out Jarvan, so they won't be too upset about that, and they trade Ashe for Jarvan. So that is a good trade, getting rid of that ADC, and they were in an unfortunate position. I don't know if the pause may have helped them because they had more time to think about what they could do, but they got out of there well, and they turned that into a really good fight for them, so that is impressive. Well done for the Lux as well to be ready to get her spells down there quickly, put on a lot of damage, and quite a good little team fight.
It was indeed. Make sure you've jumped back to live, as the pause does mess with your live timer. Alright, so now that was a 1-for-1, but not only was it a 1-for-1, but the Ashe's Guardian Angel was also knocked off and reset. So that has a 5-minute cooldown, which is pretty substantial when you think about it. So there's a 5-minute window where if you kill Ashe, she dies straight away, and it looks like Team VGR.Black are actually forcing this Baron fight as well. And I think they might be able to get it. Ashe hasn't respawned just yet. She does have a Enchanted Crystal Arrow when she does respawn, so she is coming out of the Ashe are at the Baron pit. Jarvan actually does smite away Baron successfully, and the Ashe arrow hits. It looks like
back in.
Die as well. So Aurelia does get onto this Jace and is chasing very effectively. She does have red buff, does have a dash. Equilibrium strike goes out, and it looks like the Jace might go down here. Because Aurelia doing so much work.
Yeah, that's the Jaya. They're going to wait for the respawn. They should get it, but this Ashe actually doing a ton of damage. They can't underestimate it. They are going to commit. There goes the Jace, but he did too much damage. Ashe is actually spitting out their GA to stun, though. Stopping Graves. Ashe is underestimated. They're not focused. Got to put out so much damage. They did take the Baron, but they thought they were going to win that. I'm surprised. That was really well played. Really close team fight. Sorry I left you for a while. You were right about my life. I lost that bottom the bottom interbase, but I'm back in, and wow, what a crazy team fight. They almost went so well that Graves almost took it, but that Ashe was just in the right place with good help, and they wanted to take Jace, but at the same time that allowed the ADC to just right-click and get so much damage off 2 high-priority targets, and they could only pick one. Never an easy decision.
No, it's not. And Ashe is the only one up for her team, but Nami is the only one up for VGR.Black, and that means Ashe gets 20 seconds of free damage onto inhibitor turrets, and a little bit of damage onto the inhibitor as well. It looks like she's backing off, which is probably the wisest decision right now. And it looks like the pings are going down on both of VGR.Black's buffs, and they are going to steal these away. Red buff going to the Ashe, and blue buff going to go to the Elise. So just compounding on that advantage that he took from winning that team fight. And well played.
And we actually have a turbo Elise. Is that glitched out on yours as well, where she's got the home guards boots constantly going?
On who? Sorry, on the Elise.
Elise.
Oh my god, it's on mine
Flaming
as well.
feet Elise.
That's awesome.
That's a nice little graphics mistake, but that's quite funny to see. But yeah, that was really close. If Graves could have survived that fight, it could have totally turned the game. That was really intense. His GA is now down. I believe Ashe's GA is down as well, though. So that's the 2 GAs down. They'll be happy about that. Those GAs are an absolutely deadly item. You really want to make sure that isn't what's going to wreck you in a team fight. So they have to pay attention to that. They want to always make sure you don't do a big engage when all the GAs are up and you just lose the team fight because they all come back alive.
Yeah, most definitely. So Graves just cleans up this mid wave and is going to back off. So a lot of CS on the Graves. He's almost leading the map. I was about to say he is, but the Singed is got some really nice CS. So the richest person in the game at the moment is indeed the Graves. He's sitting on nearly 18,000 compared to everyone else's, you know, upwards and downwards of that. So pretty good. And what do you think of this Aurelia? Now that she's hit a couple of core items, she's actually doing really well in these team fights.
Yeah, she's given a lot to the team, and this Lux has definitely put up a lot of its damage too. She's actually bursting them quite a lot, but it looks like they're going to start arresting this inhibitor. They really want to get that down. Once inhibs start falling, it's going to change the game a lot. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to leave the base and do anything. They will be glad that Baron is down. Even if they didn't get to keep it, they're glad the buff isn't there to punish them. That's always a good thing about getting Baron, is it also just denies the enemies the chance to use it against you. So even though Nami's the only one with the Baron buff, they'll still be glad it's not on the map to be taken while they're forced back into their base.
Yeah, very true. You're right, Crunch. It's not upwards and downwards of that. It's just downwards of the most vote in the game. I misspoke. So this inhibitor is being sieged. There is no turret protected. Nice Lux coming out, cleaning up the entire wave. And it looks like they might be able to get it anyway. Singe taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't really matter. He is so tanky at this point in the game. He gets a nice fling onto the Aurelia. Aurelia gets flung in. Ashe gets a nice crit and picks him up. Crescendo goes out, completely misses everyone as you do. Graves is now poking down the Elise, but Elise is very, very tanky. Jarvan gets caught out, uses his Cataclysm, but actually gets stuck in the wall and is going to go down. It looks like NX Dust is doing some serious work on this Elise.
And it's Lux in a lot of trouble. He is going to go down the Jace. Jace picks up that kill. That's a big kill. They're going to be happy. The Lux got removed. She got focused really early in that game, forced to flow as Zonya's, and at that point, Jace positioned himself to be ready to instantly pick up that kill. So she was in a lot of trouble, and they're just going to go for the win here. It's a good idea. They're definitely going to be able to get this. They just commit to the Nexus and win it. They are actually just going to take out Graves. They're going to have no trouble now. They've got no threats, and that is the GG. First game is going to go. Noxius really well played. That Singe caused a little trouble early. They started to bring it back, and it became quite an interesting game. But in the end, that Jace just had far too much power.
And that was game 1 of this best of 5 in favor of Noxious Gaming. The lobby has been